What's up, y'all? Actually, let's make an adjustment real quick. You guys a little bit too low for my liking. Right there. I like that. So today we actually kind of stepping away from the typical filmmaking talk that I typically do on the channel, just because I feel like the things I'm about to share with you all today is just as important, because without a proper workflow, this can hinder the type of jobs that you get and just the actual performance on your body and editing and things like that. Like, to be good at your craft, you also have to be a strong proponent of self-care. And sometimes that may look like investing in certain things that you may feel like you may not need. But trust me when I say that these are some of the things that you will need. And I know that these things help me out. So I kind of want to share some of the things that kind of help with my workflow and kind of help me with like posture and all that good stuff, so I can go out and perform these jobs the best I can, but also give me quick delivery times when I got to send projects out to my clients. So there are 5 things that we'll be touching on, but before we get started, I want to let you all know this video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. Everything I'm telling you that I use, I stand by, because I've been using it for years. Like, this is not something I just got. You feel what I'm saying? But with that being said, I do actually have a new item, which is going to be today's sponsor, FlexiSpot, and that's going to be the motorized desk. Now, let me just be clear with y'all, man. A standing desk, if you're an editor, or if you're an editor, a photographer, a videographer, whatever the case is, you need a standing desk. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you need to get up. Like, you need to get up. Like, you sitting at your desk editing for hours on end, you probably snacking and all that, man. I'm telling you right now, a standing desk will help you just kind of get your, like, get you moving, get you going. And the most important thing is to get you up at your seat, so that way you can still work you can still do your work uninterrupted. You hit a button, boom, it's gonna raise up. One thing to note about this desk though is when you have to hit the button twice. Like, you have to hit the button to activate the screen, and you have to hit it again to make sure that it actually goes on. Just something to be mindful of if you decide to pick up this desk. Also, a couple of things to know about this desk is that it has a timer. You can set a timer up to like 2 hours, but will automatically raise up for you. Like, hey, if you feel like you've been sitting too long and you're not responsible enough to stand up on your own, you can definitely set a timer for like up to 2 hours for it to automatically raise up for you. You have 3 memory functions of the 3 different height sets that you want to go to. So maybe if you want to I have mine set for, essentially I only have 2 set, one for standing, one for sitting. So when I hit a button, it goes down to the position that I normally sit at. Then another one for when I decide to stand. And it was actually very easy to assemble. I think the biggest thing for me, why I really upgraded from my previous standing desk to this desk, is the storage. Listen, man, there's so many times my desk get cluttered, and sometimes, man, like for me, I don't know about y'all, but I can't work in mess. So for me, having storage bins to put stuff in, like whether my passport, hard drives, some headphones, whatever the case is, being able to have 4 storage bins on the top of my desk keeps my desk clean at all times. So I do love having storage bins. My last standing desk did not have that, so this is definitely a step up for me. And another unique feature about this is like where you actually hit the button to make the desk raise and stand on the, as you can see, the digital timer or the digital numbers, if you will. It also has a USB port if you want to plug up your phone and charge your phone. If you are looking for just a convenience in a desk and storage options, definitely check out the new FlexiSpot desk that I have. If you're interested in seeing which one I have, make sure you check the link down in the description below, and you'll be able to see the exact model that I have. Also, as you all notice, it actually makes it a good camera tripod. When you want to kind of raise and lower your shots, it actually works pretty well for that. As an editor, this is something that you need to have and to invest in, which is gonna be a good pair of headphones. The headphones that I decided to use are wired. I'm a firm believer, especially when you're editing videos and stuff like that, that you should be editing wired. If you I know people walk around with AirPod Max and all that. I don't like to delay on Bluetooth when it comes to editing, man. Like, I need my stuff to be like right then and there, but I also need to make sure I hear like the little sounds that I probably can't pick up on other headphones. So the headphones that I use to edit all my videos, every single video that I edit, is gonna be the Sony MDR-7506. Now, I'm pretty sure you've seen these headphones a lot. Especially probably on production sets. If you work on production sets, 9 times out of 10, the sound guy is going to be rocking a pair of those headphones. Like, they are really good for monitoring audio, monitoring sound, and you're going to make sure that you are picking up everything that you need to pick up. Especially if you're doing like an interview or something like that too. These headphones are my go-tos, and I wouldn't recommend any other brand outside of those. They are that good. And on top of that, to me, one of the best features about these headphones is like the fact that the headphone cup swivels, but also they are super comfortable for you to wear for long periods of time. And they kind of got like these like little airbags, I feel like, for cushions, and like even when you squeeze down on them, like they kind of like inflate back. Like, these are literally probably the best pair of headphones I've ever edited with, and I really do love them that much. Moving on to the next thing, which is gonna be my computer. Now I know some people probably sitting here seeing all these new Macs come out, the M2, the M3, probably got an M4 on the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real here. If you're using the same camera that you've been using for the past 3-4 years, the M1 Max is more than enough, and that's what I'm rocking with. I have the M1 Max Studio. I have the M1 Max Studio, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage, and it gets me, like, I have no problem editing any of my FX3 footage, any of the FX6 footage when I had that, Blackmagic footage, Fuji GFX, like the medium format camera, because sometimes I do editing for my homie Paul Harrison. I have no problems with this computer, and this computer now, when I say it's about like maybe 3-4 years old, and it's still good, right? You got the SD card slot in the front. You have four 4.0 Thunderbolt USB-C ports in the back. You also have just 2 standard USB-C ports in the front with an SD card reader. Like, when I say I couldn't have asked for a better computer, especially for my editing workflow, I use DaVinci Resolve. I have no issues, no spinning wheels of death. So if you're somebody who are looking for another computer, I don't even recommend that you go out and get the new and latest and greatest, because you definitely can find this M1 Max Studio probably for a good sale, good deal, especially on Facebook Market. Anything I'm discussing in this video will be listed down in the description below. So if you all are interested in picking anything up, man, make sure y'all check those links out. Like I told you all before in the beginning of the video, and even when I talked about the desk standing, this is another thing that, you know, even with me, I have wrist trouble sometimes. Arthritis can kick in, or if you have carpal tunnel, get you a wrist pad. These things are super cheap. These things are super cheap, but they're definitely needed if you are an editor, man. Having your wrist to rest on something other than some hard wood, pause, you can, you know what I'm saying, you would definitely gonna see the difference and notice the difference in your hand and your wrist movements. Before I got this, like, pain, we used to shoot my wrist a lot. It was definitely uncomfortable, man. I'm sitting here using cortisone and all type of stuff, man. It's kind of got my wrist back right, but using a pad has actually made my editing experience that much better. Now, my last, but definitely my favorite, I saved the best for last. I say the best for last because when I say I've been using this thing for years, and everybody who comes over or see me edit or just wonder, like, man, bro, how do you get your videos up so fast? How do you get your clients back their videos so fast? And it's because of one thing, the Torbox Neo. Man, let me tell y'all something, bro. They definitely have new generations of this item here, right? But it's a shortcut macro key thing for editors, right? So if you never heard of it, pretty much you can program buttons on this unit to make sure, like, when you do certain things to edit up your work, like to speed up your workflow, you can set certain favorite buttons that you need, that you always use, to make sure that you don't have to use your keyboard. And I don't use my keyboard at all when I'm editing videos, like, at all. I have my pause, play, in and out, slow down clips, ripple, delete, undo, scroll through the timeline, do keyframes, like everything that I do in my typical standard edits or even my exaggerated edits. The Torbox Neo is able to keep up with me without a hiccup. I've had this thing now for 3 to 4 years. Now they do have a Bluetooth one. I have the wired one just because, again, I like my connection to be seamless, and I have not had a hiccup, like, at all. As you all can see from the B-roll that I'll show you, it looks a little dirty because I use the heck out of this thing, man. Like, if you are literally trying to speed up your workflow, I'm telling you right now, man, using a keyboard, that ain't it no more. Let that go. I'll be watching my wife edit, and I'll be like, or watching my homeboy edit, I'm like, man, bro, that look painful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta sit there and use your keyboard. Like, that is so ghetto. Like, but with that being said, man, I hope you all actually took away some learning things from this here, as far as just, number one, you know, how important a standard desk can be. 2, a wrist pad, workflow, speed up workflow, editing, like all this stuff that I'm telling y'all, man, like, this is stuff that I use on the day-to-day basis, right? Because I believe in it. I don't push nothing to y'all that I don't use myself. So if you all are interested in checking any of these things out, man, make sure you check out the links down in the description below. So if you all decide to pick up any of this gear here, man, make sure you all let me know on IG. You can find me on IG at Brookssmedia with 2 S's. If you don't have the S, you ain't spelling it right. Deuces.